What if everything you were told about success was a lie? Work hard for 40 years, save your money, retire at 65, then finally live. That is the plan most people are following, quietly, obediently, without ever stopping to ask one question. What if you don't have to wait? What if the freedom, the adventure, and the life you are planning to have someday could be yours right now? In 2007, Timothy Ferriss published a book that turned the conventional idea of success completely upside down. That book is The 4-Hour Workweek. In the next 10 minutes, I will walk you through the entire framework, the philosophy, the tools, and the mindset shifts that have helped millions escape the 9-to-5 trap and design a life on their own terms. Stay till the end, because the final concept will permanently change how you think about time, money, and what you are actually working for. Let's go. Ferriss opens the book with the most important distinction in the entire framework between two fundamentally different types of people. The deferrers follow the traditional path. Work hard, climb the ladder, delay gratification for decades, accumulate wealth, hope that retirement delivers the freedom life was always supposed to contain. They trade their most valuable resource, time, for money, then spend that money accumulating symbols of success while actual living gets permanently postponed. The new rich are completely different. They are not necessarily wealthier in terms of bank balance. They are richer in the only currencies that genuinely matter. Time, the freedom to spend each day as they choose mobility, the freedom to live and work from anywhere, experience, adventures and relationships, not possessions. The new rich design their ideal lifestyle first, and then build the income and systems that sustain it. Retirement is the worst-case scenario, insurance, not the goal. Timothy Ferriss. This single reframe, from retirement as destination to lifestyle design as immediate project, is the philosophical foundation of everything that follows. Ferriss creates a complete operating system for joining the new rich. He calls it the deal framework. D, definition. E, elimination. A, automation. L, liberation. Let's break down each stage. Define the fear, define the dream. The first stage is definition, and it requires brutal honesty about two things most people never confront: what you fear and what you actually want. Fear setting. Most people stay stuck not from lack of ambition, but from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of financial ruin. Ferriss offers a tool called fear setting, inspired by the Stoic philosopher Seneca, that dismantles that fear in 3 steps. Define the worst case in absolute specific detail. What is the actual worst that could happen? Define how you would recover. If every bad scenario materialized, what would you do? How long would it take? Define the cost of inaction. What does staying exactly where you are cost you in health, happiness, and self-respect over the next 1, 3, and 10 years? When completed honestly, 2 things emerge simultaneously. The worst case is almost always far less catastrophic than the vague fear suggested, and the cost of inaction is almost always greater than the cost of any recoverable failure. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. Timothy Ferriss, Dreamlining. After confronting fear, Ferriss asks you to define what you actually want across 3 horizons: 6 months, 1 year, and 3 years. For each, answer 3 questions. Having, what do you want to have? Being, what do you want to become? Doing, what do you want to do and experience? Then calculate the actual monthly cost of that ideal life. Most people discover their dream life is dramatically less expensive than assumed, because it is built from time, freedom, and experience, not things. Define the fear, define the dream, only then can you act. Do less, achieve more, ruthlessly. The second stage is elimination, and it asks the most uncomfortable question in the book. How much of what I am doing is actually necessary, and what would happen if I simply stopped doing the rest? The 80-20 principle. In virtually any system, 80% of results come from 20% of inputs. 80% of your income comes from roughly 20% of your clients. 80% of your problems come from 20% of your relationships. 80% of your best work happens in 20% of your working hours. Ferris's instruction: identify your vital 20% and ruthlessly eliminate, delegate, or ignore the rest. He did this himself, fired his most difficult, time-consuming clients who represented a fraction of his revenue, and freed the majority of his time while losing almost none of his income. Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Give yourself a week for a task. It takes a week. Give yourself 2 hours. It frequently takes 2 hours. Artificial, aggressively short deadlines produce equal or superior output in dramatically less time. Combined with 80-20, this becomes the most powerful time recovery tool available. Focus on your highest value 20%. Compress the time aggressively. The result is more meaningful output in dramatically less total time. This is not theory. It is the engine behind Ferris's entire lifestyle. Being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking and indiscriminate action. Timothy Ferris. Build a muse, outsource everything, make money while you sleep. Elimination reduces how much you work. Automation answers the next question. How do you generate income without trading your time for it hour by hour? Ferris's answer is the muse. The muse. A muse is a scalable, automated income source, a product or service business designed from day one to operate without your direct, ongoing involvement. The ideal muse has 3 characteristics. Solves a specific problem for a specific audience, is product-based or productized. Physical products, digital products, online courses, software, is designed for automation from the start, systems, processes, and people in place before you step back. Ferris's most important business insight: test demand before building the product. Run a small ad campaign. Build a simple landing page. See if people will pay for what you intend to create before investing months building it. This lean validation method, revolutionary in 2007, prevents the catastrophic mistake of building products nobody wants. Virtual assistants. Ferris introduces outsourcing your life, not just your business. Hiring virtual assistants to handle email management, research, scheduling, and administrative tasks. The question he asks before doing any task himself: would I pay someone to do this? If yes, why am I doing it myself? Your attention is your most valuable asset. Automation is the discipline of protecting it from everything that doesn't require your specific genius. Mini retirements, geographic arbitrage, live now. The 4th stage is liberation, the actual practice of living the designed life, not someday, now. Mini retirements, instead of deferring all freedom to a single 30-year retirement at the end of a 40-year career, the new rich distribute that freedom throughout their lives in regular, extended periods of genuine adventure. Not a 2-week vacation. An extended immersion, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, in a different country, exploring a different culture, developing a skill, living differently. 3 reasons. Mini retirements beat conventional retirement. Health. You can do more at 35 than at 75 perspective. Extended living. Differently permanently expands what you believe is possible. Creativity. Ferris's most generative professional periods consistently followed extended disengagement. Geographic. Arbitrage. If your income is generated in dollars or pounds, but your expenses are paid in Thai baht, Argentine pesos, or Vietnamese dong, the purchasing power of your income multiplies dramatically. Ferris calculated that a lifestyle of genuine luxury in Buenos Aires cost approximately 1/3 of comparable New York City living. This reframes the most paralyzing financial question entirely. How much do I need to earn? Changes completely, depending on where in the world you choose to live your answer. Liberation is not a destination, it is a way of moving through the world, with freedom, intention, and the systems that make it permanently sustainable. Woven through the entire deal framework is one of the most radical and most immediately actionable ideas in the book: the low information diet. Most information consumed daily, news, social media, push notifications, produces one primary output: anxiety without action. It makes you feel informed. It does not make you more effective. Ferris's prescription: check email twice per day, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. only. Everything else is either a genuine emergency, someone will call, or something that only feels urgent because your inbox trained you to treat everything as such. No news for 30 days. Genuinely important information will reach you through conversation and context without a single news cycle consumed. Selective ignorance as a permanent operating principle. Consume only information that produces insight and action. Filter everything that merely occupies attention without advancing priorities. The low information diet is not disconnection from reality. It is the discipline of distinguishing between information that produces insight and noise dressed up as importance. The most effective people are not the most informed. They are the most selective. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need a business built. You don't need to book a flight to Bangkok tonight. You need one honest step forward, and then the next. Here is Ferris's practical starting sequence. 1. Tonight, fear setting. Write the biggest risk you've been avoiding. Define the worst case. Define recovery. Calculate the cost of inaction. 2. This week, 80-20 analysis. Which 20% of your activities produce 80% of meaningful results? What can be reduced, delegated, or eliminated? 3. Tomorrow, email twice only, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Nothing else. Notice what you reclaim. 4. 7-day low information diet. No social media scrolling, no news. Notice your clarity. 5. This month, test one muse idea. Build a simple landing page. Run 50 pounds of targeted ads. Test before you invest. Ferris's non-negotiable instruction: do something uncomfortable this week. Not next month, not when conditions are right. This week. Because conditions will never be perfect, and the life you want is on the other side of the discomfort you are currently avoiding. Ferris wrote this book at 29, from the depths of burnout, working 14-hour days in a business producing income, but none of the freedom he originally pursued. He didn't write it from the summit of an already lived legendary life. He wrote it as someone who had just discovered that the conventional path to success was leading somewhere he genuinely did not want to go. And the question he asked, sitting in exhaustion and clarity, is the question this book ultimately hands to every reader. What does the ideal version of my life actually look like? And what is the first step I could take today to begin building it? Not, what am I supposed to want? Not, what would impress other people? What do you actually want? And what are you waiting for? The DEAL framework is not a productivity system. It is a completely different philosophy of what work is for. Work is not the point. Work is the vehicle. The point is the life. The point is the time. The point is the freedom to be fully present for your own existence, not permanently deferred to a retirement that may arrive too late, in a body too tired, with dreams too long suppressed to remember clearly. You now have the framework. You understand the new rich. You understand fear, setting and dreamlining. You understand 80-20 and Parkinson's law. You understand the muse, automation, mini-retirements, and geographic arbitrage. The only question left is the one Ferris has been asking since page 1. What are you waiting for? If this gave you one idea that changes one decision, hit like, subscribe, and share it. Comment below. What is the one thing you would eliminate, automate, or escape if you genuinely believed it was possible? I read every comment. See you in the next book.